Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Laurel Park. Naomi Tucker joined by Keith Fustel. We get set for yet another strong week of racing. 4 days this week. Of course, we've got the Stakes Festival coming up on Saturday. But Keith, we're also counting down to Preakness.
Yes. Oh, that's some noise here in the paddock. If we can maybe bring that down a hair.
It's a little bit loud indeed.
That jumped jumped up and got us. But yeah, let's take a look at the Preakness. We're right around the corner. Derby, Preakness, you name it. What do we got here?
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion, D Nice. It's a whole festival. We have art, we have culinary, so lots of food to sample as well. There is something for everyone on Friday, May 20th, so Black Eyed Susan Day, and then of course we're gonna move into the big action on Saturday as well. So it's kind of a two-day event now, really.
We used to do this going back years. It doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but Naomi, you may not have been. You probably were. But we used to do like the Thursday night lives. We had a lead-in to Preakness, like different nights of the week. There were things going on downtown, music, you name it, food. So it's good to get that back and to get the neighborhood, everything involved. The whole community involved with that around Pimlico, Baltimore. The whole Preakness vibe. It's a good one, and I'm glad they're adding more to that experience.
Yeah,
yes,
it's a complementary, of course, to the infield fest that will be coming up on Preakness Day on the Saturday itself. So it's 2 terrific days, top class racing action. Love the Black Eyed Susan, and of course off the track in the infield, that's where you would like to be. But let's have a look at the current track conditions. We do have a fast main track, not racing on the turf today. We'll be back with turf action on Saturday. And it's getting slightly warmer, right?
It is. We've got a little chill in there, a little bit of a breeze coming. You see that? It might be close to 11 miles per hour. But we had some rain, Monday. A good bit of rain a little north here. I know that. But turf course looks great. I got a chance to watch a little bit of the racing Saturday. And I was not here, but was peeking back and watching. Look good. Yeah, and I'm ready to roll. These turf races are going to be challenging. This card today, Naomi, is very challenging.
I definitely was going back and forth on a couple of horses today. We have 8 races coming your way. We will be recapping the stakes races from last weekend during lightning round, so stay tuned for that. But we'll get going here with race number 1. Early pick, 5 stars right here. And we land on the same horse, Keith. I do know that you dug up a stat for the Hamilton Smith trained Roll Me Over, who will be stretching out to the mile 16 for the first time ever in his career.
Yeah, Hammy Smith. He's been on quite a roll right now. But we don't need to say anything else. But it's great to see. He's been a mainstay here for many years. But last 3 years on the dirt, 6 for 38, 16%. Okay winning percentage. 20 for 38 in the money with these maiden claimers to sprinter route. I like that ROI, though. 358. I think you're going to get an okay price on Roll Me Over. It looks like, the fields have just gotten away from him a little bit early in these sprints. Maybe faced a little bit better. I think the flow is going to be comfortable. Got a new young rider, William Murphy, 7-pound bug rider.
Came over from England, got his first win on board the other day.
Yeah, I think he can get position here and just kind of grind it out, through this mile 16. Hold the inside, save that ground, and get it done.
And I agree with your assessment that looking at Roll Me Over, when I was looking at his final race, he just struggled to go with that early pace that they do set going to sprinting at distances. But let's talk about a couple of others as well here. I landed on number 8 towards the outside. I know you didn't use Lightning Land for Milan Milosevic, but he improved rapidly last time out with a strong late close. I think he's going to enjoy the added distance. And look, if you look at some of his works before that, he seems like a horse that definitely has a good bit of speed.
I think but he's going to have to use that. Get position. I get a little help here with the scratch for the 7, but that's going to be the key. Came back a little bit last time. They went fast early, a little sluggish late, but willing to the wire was Lightning Lad. I think Auspicious Lad works for me. Slight class drop. He's faced the right kind of horses. Not as slow as speed. I think Roll Me Over should get the jump on him and make a run into it. So I'm going to key around Roll Me Over. Hopefully we can get, right now it's very early 8. I think this horse will come down a little bit. But I will use your 8 horse in the exacta box as well.
I thought it was
Yes.
interesting to use underneath at a price. Now, Vroom, though, is perhaps the main pace danger here. The number 4, JD Acosta, remains on board for Jose Corrales. Actually stepped them up to the maiden 16 level here after a good try. Lost them at the maiden 10 when kind of clearing away and
Yeah.
just getting caught late by appropriately named I'm Not Slow.
I'm Not Slow got it done. That was Claudio, right? So this horse does have the speed, I think, to go ahead and get away from the field. I'm just hoping this Roll Me Over can kind of keep him in his sights by the time they turn for home and pull a little bit of a minor upset here in the opener. Yeah, the breeding's there too. Having him own one at a mile, had a sib that was okay at like 7-8. So I think the distance mile 16 fits here for this one.
Yeah, I think so as well. Race number 2 is claiming 42,000. Event 6 furlongs the distance here. Started that early pick 4.
Yeah.
Keith, how are we going to get paid today?
Yeah, this was a look at this ticket. I'm all over the map, and I've got to try to get a
But you
single.
found a single.
I try. Well, I had to find it, or you're going to go up and up and up here with this cost. If you've got a friend, add a little bit more. 2, 4, 6, 7. I think Accelerator's kind of that sleepy, did not finish last race, has a chance to run into some speed.
I used them underneath as well.
Did you? Yeah, yeah. Key around simply valid. Race 3, 2 in the 8-point driven, subject to change. We finally get the field. He can get the jump on around the turns, maybe separate and hold off the closers. Race 4, look at this one. 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. That might not even be enough, but we're gonna stop it at that. And finish up here in the 5th. Brilliant Chase, part of the entry that stays in. Scratch the 1A. Noble Commander, really rolling, steadily improving. 7/8's a perfect distance for this type of runner against this kind of field. I think he sits a very nice trip mid-pack to grind it out. There's your ticket, $20.
Yeah, claiming $32,000 a level here in race number 2, 6 furlongs the distance here. Let's start with your top selection. Simply valid here for trainer Dale Capuano. 2-week turns around. First 5, the claim won and continue to improve again. Last time out is hoping to continue his streak here, making it a 3rd win in a row. I like the fact that he straight away moved up to a higher level. Del Capuano, kind of that confidence move. That bodes well.
Here's another stat we could have thrown up on the screen, but pay attention. Maybe we'll give it to you. Maybe Phil can have it up here before the second race. This is a 50% tag jump, right? When you break it down to 5, it works. When he does this kind of move, Dale Cap up off the claim, how about 38% with an ROI close to $4 over the last 3 years? I like that. This horse was held much better than what I thought. I was kind of against this guy because he was riding the good rails down at the fairgrounds. That inside was good. Has a chance here to sit just behind the speed and I think move into it because Lantau and Free Square will go from those outer posts.
Yeah, I actually use Lantau on top, and I think he's going to be very, very tough. He's so consistent. Also looking for a 3rd win in a row. He loves being on the lead. On paper, it looks like he's got plenty of speed to get to the front. And even if he doesn't, 2 starts back over 5.5 furlong, we're on 6 here, he was able to still move forward after kind of jumping alongside a couple of others. He doesn't necessarily need to have it straight away, but he'll get there eventually. So actually, I love Lantau here today. I like your horse underneath, but I think it's going to be very tough to beat an informed Lantau. We both use Free Square underneath for Jerry Robb as well. In his last 2 runs at this level, he's hit the board as well as a strong 3rd, was behind Lantau. I thought Lantau ran a stronger race. He was on the lead. Free Square just kind of hanging around there. I did like how he came back at him, though.
Okay, yeah, he did. He battled back, and he got back to a top number with Jerry Robb. Has a chance in a barn like that to pair up or maybe even just move up slightly because he's still only 3 years old. Accelerator, your price horse to maybe come from the clouds if things get really hot and heated up front.
I think Accelerator 15-1 morning line as well. If he jumps up, you get a nice price to start off that early pick 4. Race number 3, 6.5 furlongs the distance for conditioned nickel claimers here. Of course, the Rainbow Pick 6 starts here as well, as we've got 8 races coming up in total. Do a video spotlight on your top selection, Keith, the number 8 subject to change. We're looking back at his last race where he kind of slipped back into a box position. You see him right there. Ended up having to get taken back quite strong because it looked like the front runners slowed down ever so slightly, especially maybe the 3 there just kind of got into a tight spot.
He did. You see that. Had to check and backed off of it, and he needed everything kind of his own way in that situation against that class of runner. Just wasn't able to kind of quite kick on. Commanding General, the big fig. The willingness was there. I know it was beaten 7. but kept trying every step of the way after that trouble. Draws outside. This is a field really devoid of any quality speed. He was
True.
close to some good horses here.
Yep.
Maybe at 6.5, the chances I talked about earlier to separate from the field. His recent numbers, they're okay. I mean, doesn't really match up a lot with point driven, but this just might be the field where he can get back to his top.
Yeah, I have point driven in second. You do as well. Look, he does need a good bit of pace sometimes to work with. If it's not there, he'll have to be a little bit closer. I do think he's in an easier spot than that open 12.5 company that he just came from.
No doubt whatsoever. This is the move to get the confidence back. He needs to be. It's been a long time since a win. Gets a shorter field here. He faced a big gaudy field at 12. It's easy to get lost in those kind of fields.
Yes.
Took the overland route to do it and closed in nicely. Yeah, his numbers are steady. He is consistent, and you get that consistency. He has one more race like that. It's going to be hard to keep him out of the exacta.
Yeah, I actually have point driven on top here. I think that was a typo on my behalf. So it's actually 2384 for me. If we can make that quick change, I had Eamon Corner underneath. His race 2 starts ago, second at this level, is a very, very decent form. Another one that kind of came out of the clouds there. Was up against a tough field at that start allowance level last time out. Easy to really kind of flatten out there and not come with a run when you're up against the likes of Military Hawk, Beverly Park, Rockefeller, horses that normally run at some of the higher claimer levels, have eligible for this nickel starter, but those are tough runners. These
connections here, they're doing the right thing. They've been knocking on the door. Spotted Bull, Eamon Corner, point driven, very similar running styles. One of them, they might get it done and finally get back to the winner's circle, get through this condition. But, hey, subject to change, Jerry Robb out there with the X-Man being aggressive around the turn. Let's separate and hold sway.
Let's hope he does so indeed. Race number 4, maiden claiming 25 to 20,000, 7 furlongs. The distance, we also have a video spotlight on the number 5, Shine Like a Diamond. My top selection in here. Really, really strong race here, second out. She made all on the rail, came back at Miss Foxanne, who was trying to get away from her. Miss Foxanne in the center. Shine Like a Diamond more towards the inside, perhaps not the spot where you wanted to be either on that muddy surface.
Yeah, was trying though every step of the way. Love the effort here as Miss Foxanne kind of drifting a little bit late, was corrected with that right-handed stick work, but game effort. She's run good both spots and needs to just kind of run a similar race to be right back at it today. The problem is I see a whole lot of other horses with opportunity that might be a little bit better priced. That's why I go there. My girl Steve, numbers aren't there at all, but retooled, comes in with a new barn, blinkers on, Lasix on. You go back to the debut, that horse has come back to run like a 78 on the main track. Just a stranger, just trying to find something different. And Daily Planet gets back to a fast track finally. I like the move shortening up. This horse ran so hard first time out. I hope it just didn't take everything out of her. But she's going to run into this speed today with Forest Boys. 7-6-2-4 for me. Fashionista, I think, is a better spot today as well, Spring.
Yeah, I think Tim Tulloch also had Daily Planet as his price play of the day.
Okay.
So good pick up there. Yeah, I use Miss Corey underneath. Brittany Russell, blinkers on last time and today, actually. So do make a note of that in the program. She showed speed coming over from gate 6. That was the highest gate. Ended up kind of stuck 3 wide, but she moved up sharply. I thought it was kind of a sharp move. Tried, wasn't able to land the final blow, but the top run is there. You're looking at Forget About It, Sense It, who's a really, really good form barometer, because she keeps running second with those 60 buyer figures. I've been chasing her for quite a bit now. So Miss Corey definitely up against some tough runners in that maiden special weight event. I like the fact that they drop her down to the maiden 25. I think that's going to be much more comfortable for her. As we'll take a quick break here, and then we'll move on to race number 5.
All right.
A little bit of everything on Preakness Day. We saw the Grade 1 Arabian race finishing up there in the commercial as well. So got the chance to see those. You don't get to see them too often. I actually got started with an Arabian. So
Did
I
you
do,
really?
yeah,
Okay.
I do like seeing them compete as well. Race number 5 here. Start that late pick 4. I decided to create a ticket. This is how I played. Couldn't really single down here. Went 3 deep in here using the 1, the 2, and the 7. And then I basically go 2 deep in every single race. That really means I have to be right.
Yeah.
But I'm putting the pressure on myself here using what does it take on the rail in race 6 as well as the number 8, which is just in the nick of time for Justin Riviera. 3 seconds in a row.
Yeah.
But he refuses to back down. He refused to back down. He's a tough runner. I'm hoping he can get the job here done here today. Race 7, I kind of wanted to go deeper. So if you want to go deeper, that probably is a spot to do it. I landed on using the number 3, Galeri, who I'm hoping is going to return to some of his form. Looked like he bounced after that career best in a John B. Campbell. And then I also used the number 6, Money Ride, whose stablemate Plot the Dots will be coming up in the native dancer on Saturday. And then in race number 7 I go too deep. Race number 8 I go too deep as well, using the 3 and the 4. She's Miss Artie, first time starter for trainer Brittany Russell, and Hudson Canyon. Lots of changes there for this Claudio Gonzalez trainee, making her second start. $12 flat, but if you want to spread a little bit more race 7, I would encourage you to do so as we get going here with race number 5. And we'll start on your top selection here,
Right.
Keith, who I have in second.
Okay.
The number 1, Brilliant Chase for trainer Jamie Ness. Now the single entry, other part of the entry scratched. He consistently runs in those mid to higher 70 buyer figures. Best at a comparable field, it seems, at Parks. Lost out. It's going to be his second start at Laurel. Loves the 7 furlong distance. We always know that that's a bit of a tricky one for some horses. He's shown that he has no problem going over it. Still yet to get the win, but very, very credible runs, including a career best.
This horse was running okay figs for a lower percentage trainer. Goes into a high percentage barn, and the numbers just keep getting better and better and better. Love the way that he ran down a lone speed type, a little bit of a price horse, but a horse that had some ability go on the go back. I like this. This horse has got kind of that I'm not going to be denied kind of run from the quarter pole home. I think you're going to get it today. Their speed drawn to this outside. They're going to set a pretty good pace in here, even at 7/8. I think this guy can kind of get it done from mid-pack.
Yeah, talking about the speed, I have a bit of a price bane here on the number 7, Demo Doctor. He drops back down from the Maryland-bred Allowance Company, where he gave a good account of himself last time, really trying to take them as far as he could. He enjoys the front-running stuff. Now, there is some other speed in here, but I like the fact he has a little bit of a high draw, so you can try and apply the pressure. Maybe South Sea wants to give him a little bit of run early too, but I love that Force Boy stays aboard. She's won on him in the past. I think she's going to give him that kind of patient, well-timed ride.
And you've got the pickup on the 26. Showed that speed, but took pressure against the bias that day. Just a little bit of a fade. Maybe get some more, I hate to say honest racetrack, but, make more favorable, because the inside that day was kind of deadly.
Yeah, let's talk about Spitball. We haven't gotten to him yet. The number 2, we have a video spotlight on him a couple of starts back when going 6 furlongs, I do believe, on the 12th of February, where he was asked kind of to get going from the start of the turn, went on the inside, swerved out ever so slightly, did come with a close, seemingly hitting his best stride late.
Yeah, this guy is just a trier. Naomi, we see him, and he just brings in effort. He was ridden all the way around the racetrack, basically. He's able to save ground in the lane and just keeps on chugging. I like that. See now, going to be a little bit more of a price today. I think he's the horse. If you got exactas, trifectas, I think he's hard to leave out. He kind of fooled me last time. I didn't expect him to run quite as well as he did at the mile distance. He did. Shortening back up to 7, it works for him. His top number was at this distance.
Yeah, I thought he ran really well at the mile as well, like you highlighted. I think the 7 just a bit more in his wheelhouse too, so I use him underneath as well. As we move on to race number 6, optional claim starts at Allowance, mile and 16 around the 2 turns here. We do have another video spotlight, so we might as well get started with what does it take for trainer Kieran McGee. That was his first run after being claimed. He made a sharp chasing move, having been sort of patiently ridden mid-pack by Jean Novello, slipped through in the end on the inside and ended up just looking much the best on the day.
This is a great ride right here.
I agree.
This is the race with Tate, right, as a heavy favorite, I believe, right? Tate was second.
Tate was in there.
all you got to do is look down at your PPs. Yes. So I was just concentrating and love this ride from a younger rider, bug rider, out wide, got the horse relaxed, and then just drops in and saving ground. You got to do this. This is what I love to see riders do. Gets the seam inside and says, "Yep, I got it. See you later."
You left it open. Here I am.
Yeah, here I'll take it.
Yeah, thank you.
Tate was kind of toiling back there, 8-9 lengths off the lead, and just was not going to be able to catch up to this horse. Now goes second off the claim off of Kieran. He might have stole one here. Big effort from What Does It Take. Mile and a 16th, that inside draw. You see his positional speed and the way he can make that move.
Yeah.
He's out of Vielsom. Vielsom could run all day on the turf. I think the bottom's there.
Yeah, no, I love them on the day. I'm kind of trying to beat him. I have in my exact. I really like Just in a Nick of Time coming in here for trainer Justin Riviera. 3 seconds in a row. This is the type of gelding who refuses to back down. He was on the lead, had to kind of surrender. He actually jumped so fast that he ended up on the lead, ended up surrendering to Image Maker, lost out. Kind of switched back out and started with another run. He dueled with Our Lucky Man. Had to admit defeat belatedly, but I love the kind of effort that this gelding shows. And look, it's of course not ideal coming in here with 3 seconds, but the way he runs and the way he tries makes me think that he's got a very strong chance here.
Hung, game. He's around it. I don't like to see hung for the comment, but he is. He's running the competition. The flow's not going to be terribly demanding. He's a stayer. He's in peak form right now. Yes, he's going to be right there, I think, with the flow turning for home. You're going to have to work to beat him through that final 1/8 of a mile.
I think so as well. And then, of course, I have to mention Texas Basin, number 3.
Yes,
First ride to claim for red hot trainer in Jamie Ness. That's always dangerous. 33-day turnaround, a sharp work in the interim as well, 48-1.
Yep.
He bested a tougher field at Aqueduct last year.
Yeah. This guy's a third-time gelding, dangerous. A protect move here for Jamie Ness. Another one who draws inside. He may not have a ton of speed, but he'll be able to sit the trip, work out a trip, draft up to them, I think, by the time they turn for home. It's a dangerous horse off the claim, Texas Basin.
Absolutely. And a feature race of the day is race number 7. A 3 other than optional claimer, mile and 1/8. The distance here, notable scratch of Plot the Dots, who is going to be lining up in the Native Dancer Stakes on Saturday. But let's start with your top selection in here. The number 4, Dixie Draw, who was finding similar foes last time out as he's going to be facing today. He was on the rail trying his hardest to come with a run down the lane. You can see him there. He's kind of switched inwards again. He's just rounding around them there. That was a tough spot to be in, it seemed.
Weird race, this race, because Treasure Trove, a stone closer, usually ends up a little bit keen, opens up 5 through slower fractions, is off the rail. Here comes, that was Plot the Dots outside. Money Ride, it was,
Money
bet
Ride
down,
was the
goes to the worst part of the racetrack.
Yeah.
And there's Dixie Draw, who we're going to follow here, and we followed him from the 3/8. Inside a long way, but able to close up into this slower fractions. He's ready to go. Third off the bench. He's going to hold value. Maybe he doesn't win it, but he's my key horse for my value here with Rodriguez.
I
I'll
like
take the
it.
shot.
But isn't the same argument that we just applied to Dixie Draw going to apply to Money Ride today? Who was
Correct.
also trying on the worst part of the track and was really tenacious late.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. I thought that was an interesting move that he went down and the other one went out and got the best part of the track, the high and wide trip. But yes, agreed. That does relate. Dixie Draw, I still think is going to be the best price to use out of all of these horses.
Okay, and how about Treasure Trove? Look, these are all ultra competitive in here. He actually looked a little bit keen early on the day, last time out over a mile, and then kind of sprinted clear. Unfortunately for him, he did get caught late by the likes of Plot the Dots and Money Ride. Now, luckily, no Plot the Dots here, but the aforementioned Money Ride will still be trying as well.
Now, I think you'll see Money Ride. I think even Gentleman Joe Galerio will have to be for it. I think Treasure Trove, you'll see a bit more relaxed Treasure Trove early, be able to sit back, and he'll get back to that style from 6-7 out of it to rally into it. I don't know what happened last time. That was very odd. He got a little trouble. You see that pinched. Sometimes horses react, and you know when they get a little bit gate trouble, it kind of fries them a little bit, and then they can do odd things and just take off, and that happens. And Toledo went on with it, almost got the job done. I think you'll see just a different style today.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm curious to see how Galerio will line up because it looked like he just bounced last time out after that huge triple
Yeah.
digit buyer win, career defining victory in the John B. Campbell for this horse. I mean, what a claim by trainer John Saltzman Jr.
Yeah.
Forewarned came back to win a stakes at Aqueduct out of that John B. Campbell. Now, Galerio's a tough individual. I think that race just took something out of it. He's going to come back with some of his better runs.
He should, because you know, one comment, we've got no kick. A flat effort, and it was. He was flat. You don't see that from Galerio. He's in for the tag today. We'll see if he finds a new home, right? In for fifth.
Yeah, he is.
So, but I think you'll see a much improved effort. 7-8. That's way off of his game from buyer standards, no doubt.
Exactly. No, this is a very competitive feature race.
Love
really
it.
looking forward to race number 7. Our nightcap is race number 8. Maiden claim is $10,000 to $8,000 at 1 turn, 1 mile. The distance here. We both landed on the first time starts at number 3. She's Miss Artie for trainer Brittany Russell. Look, I was looking at the stats here. We Miss Artie, young stallion, has made a very good start with his 3-year-olds first time at the racetrack. 2 from 9, 22% winners. That's a terrific stat if she's Miss Artie can contribute to that. She got 3 siblings though. Half brother, Captain Joy, low level claimer. They all took a little bit of time to get their first win on board, but I think Brittany Russell places her runners appropriately. So the fact that she has her in for the maiden 10 means that she's going to be competitive here.
Didn't we have one like this about a month ago for her? You know, a lower level first and going long. I thought did win. You're looking at We Miss Artie. I'm not completely familiar at all with the stallion, but you're seeing a kind of a turf lean all the way through.
Yeah.
But a couple runners, 2 of them I think ran second first time out on debut. So that's enough for me. You know, roll with the stats. Brittany Russell, Claudio. We saw this movie the other day with Claudio with a horse. Didn't really run in New York. Got bet much more than I even thought. I said, you maybe take 4. I think the horse was down to 2 or 5 to 2. Yeah, the word was out. But maybe the word will be out again with Hudson Canyon. I have to say, in Claudio, we trust with this kind of move because we just saw it last week.
Yeah, no, I looked at that as well. A trainer change, circuit change, big drop in class. Showed early contention. I watched that race back up at Aqueduct. Started to go backwards at the top of the lane and was kind of just done. That was about 3 months ago. I think Hudson Canyon is going to show a much improved performance against foes he likes better. Both I used Tasfik underneath to kind of complete my top 3. Used the number 7, a first-time starter for trainer Carl Duran. She's a 4-year-old, so they've definitely been quite patient with her, getting her to the racetrack, and now in for the maiden 10. So really interesting to see how she'll fare.
Little bit leery in for the 10. You're right.
Yeah.
I have to confess her horse that Duran had, and Breviary, a starter type that we've seen. Some horses that made some money that handled a route of ground. So distance shouldn't be an issue. Talent, we're wondering, with her in at this level. But yeah, Tasfik, the 5, out to the front again. Might have to get a little bit more rating to hold on, but it looks like the target for everybody.
Yeah, that will conclude our race segment, but we'll have a look at some of the action from last week during Lightning Round. Let's start with the current jockey standings, though. J.R. Barbosa still on top, but look, title holder Jevian Toledo is breathing down his neck.
Yeah, he's not so fast, right? So,
hold on now.
Stealing that from one of those guys on the team, but yeah, not so fast. Yeah, it's going to be a good battle. We've talked about the talented bugs that we have here. Alvelo, Barbosa, the list going on and on. But you've got a mainstays like Toledo, strong rider like Rodriguez, really one of the strongest finishers I've seen in a while around here. So the race is going to be, right down to the wire.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very excited to see this jockey colony battle it out right until the end. Let's have a look at the current trainer standings as well, which does seem like a pretty tight affair. Jamie Ness holding the fort, though. Claudio Gonzalez, of course, will be throwing everything at it as he normally does with his plenty of runners. Yeah,
and you wonder with Ness, he runs them all over the place. Will things thin out a little bit with some rivers? I don't know. Lots of numbers there. Numbers between Ness and Gonzalez, obviously, with the number of horses that they have give them that edge here in the trainers' standings.
Yeah, let's look back at the Federico Tessio win, and you're in for the Preakness Stakes. And it was a Michael Trombetta trained exact, and it went down to the wire. You can see Joe here on the inside, Victor Carrasco aboard, stablemate Mr. Jefferson, Jaime Rodriguez really giving him a run for his money. What a terrific stretch battle.
Thought Mr. Jefferson had it. I really
so
did.
at one point.
I did, and Joe just dug back in. Was put into the race, a little sooner, and was able to kind of just battle on. Yeah, get gutsy effort. Really nice improve from Mr. Jefferson.
Yeah, I remember asking Michael Trombetta about Mr. Jefferson coming into this, and he was saying, look, he didn't like the off-going 2 starts back in the Jerome Stakes. Obviously, the Withers was a very, very strong race. He said he was going to do okay in here in Federico Tessio, and look, very accurate judgment there from trainer Michael Trombetta. But he also mentioned about Joe that perhaps in the private terms, the screws hadn't been tightened yet.
Correct. Yep.
And he was mentioning that this was always the goal, the Federico Tessio. So they had him primed and ready. So what a great race. I'm really hoping to see either Joe or Mr. Jefferson come back in the Preakness. Of course, the decisions will have to be made.
Oh, right. They've got to be right.
They have to be supplemented into the race.
Yes.
But of course, would love to see him in there. They've earned their chance. At Triple Crown Glory. But let's have a look at the fillies equivalent here in the Weber City Miss, which is a win, and you're in for the Black-Eyed Susan. And look, Luna Bell, she has been absolutely terrific, showed her talent yet again. It really seems like she's hit her stride. She's peaking right now.
I mean, anything that's put in front of her, she's taking care of it, right? I mean, she's handling any situation. I watched this race, and they're going down the backside, and I'm watching Rowe. I'm thinking, man, he is just loaded for bear, and at every point, and she just runs through the wire. It's like, she's energetic all the way through. Really cool racehorse. Love the whole story behind her. I think she should be highlight coming around Preakness time. Let's she needs to get some national attention. I mean, she's looks to be that good to me.
She has been improving heaps and bounds at every single race. Great training performance from trainer and co-owner Hamilton Smith, because I know that she wasn't easy. She, headstrong filly in the morning. She had a fair bit of trouble in the races because she is a closer. But now, ever since Dennis Arujo got on board, they seem to really get along, and he places her correctly so that she can get that clean run. She can make, she can roll them down late. But look, she's flexible. She shows she can be right on top of the pace too in the Beyond the Wire. So love seeing more and more of her. Really excited to see her in hopefully the Black-Eyed Season. I think everything is pointing in that direction. So fingers crossed it will all go well. We're talking about stakes action. We have another weekend filled with it. We got the Premonetta, the Native Dancer, the Henry Clark, the Dahlia, the King T. Letterby. Actually, King T. Letterby is shaping up to be quite the race. I already had a quick look here. Of course, the nominations or the entries are out already. That is a sharp field lining up. I'm excited about True Valor coming back for trainer Graham Motion after a year and a month off. 6th in the Alquoz sprint behind Extravagant Kid. I actually watched back that race this morning. True Valor was on the they tend to split in 2 groups in the Alquoz because it's a straight sprint, a turf sprint at Meydan. The group that tends to do best is the group near the stand side because it's fresh ground. Because when they're running the longer races, they're always on the inside rail. True Valor was in the group that was actually on the inside rail, which is very, very tough. Ends up running 2nd in that group, 6th overall in the race. I like to see how he fares coming back.
Yeah, no doubt. Off the break, off a long time. Grateful Bred, maybe that really stout 5.5 kind of a horse. Battle Station, we saw that one right there in the Laurel Dash back in October. I made True Valor. I'm thinking Valor. Okay, a slight favorite. Either one. I think the 2 or the 3. Grateful Bred wouldn't surprise me. I went back and forth with that. But, good sprint on tap for Saturday.
Yeah, exciting fields lined up. Do join us here at Laurel Park. It's bound to be a wonderful day again. That will conclude the morning show. We'll stand it up to Dave Rotman to inform you of all the scratches and changes for today's card.
That's it. Go make some money. Good luck.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park. Track is fast today. Temperature 60 degrees right now. South winds at about 10 miles per hour. Under cloudy skies, here's a look at your program changes for our 8-race card. In the first race, scratch the 7, Biscottadoro.